We have a major update for you guys as an NBA insider reveals the Lakers' master plan for this upcoming offseason to build a championship caliber roster. We're going to talk about what this report is, the implication it has on the Lakers, and how the Lakers can execute it. And welcome to Lakers Digest, guys. My name is Hunter Pitcoff. We cover everything surrounding your Los Angeles Lakers. It might be the Lakers offseason, but we are not taking a day off here on this channel. If you want to keep up with all the different reports, rumors, and anything in between surrounding your Los Angeles Lakers, click that subscribe button because 70.5% of you guys are not subscribed. That number last time I made a video was 70.9. It's down to 70.4, so we are definitely heading in the right direction as more of you guys watching the content are clicking that subscribe button. That's all we ask. You're getting free around-the-clock coverage surrounding your Lakers. The least you can do is click that subscribe button, support us as we are on a goal and a race to reach 20,000 subscribers. And look, I don't want to keep you guys waiting any much longer on what we're going to talk about here. So let's just get right into it and how the Lakers are planning to go all in this upcoming offseason to build this championship caliber team with this new nucleus surrounding Luka Doncic, LeBron James, and the purple and gold. But this is the report that was released moments ago today by Bobby Marks of ESPN saying, quote, "I expect them," being the Los Angeles Lakers, "to be extremely aggressive this offseason, especially with LeBron likely going into, he's got 1 year left on his contract. I think there's three things here. You got to take advantage of the $60 million in expiring contracts when you're looking at certainly players like Gabe Vincent and Hachimura. The second thing is they showed their hand at the trade deadline when they make that Mark Williams trade that wound up failing him on his physical. They are going to go out and get a center this offseason. We'll see how that goes. You got one first-round pick to do that. And then the third thing is keep an eye on August 2nd. That is when Luka is eligible to sign that extension, so you're trying to build for now. But I think you also have to keep an eye out on the future when eventually LeBron James does retire here. So there is a lot to unpack with what Bobby Marks just said there. So we're going to try to take it piece by piece here and talk about how the Lakers can ultimately, follow up on this report that it's expected that they're going to be aggressive. And, of course, how they're going to be able to do that and the assets they have available in order to pull the trigger and make this happen. So, again, looking at what Bobby Marks said, we're going to go to point number one here, which is the expiring contracts. About $60 million in expiring contracts here. And that's partially true and partially not true. Because I don't know if the math completely adds up there based on what Bobby Marks is saying. So if you look at what the Lakers have this upcoming offseason, he was not including LeBron James expiring deals. Of course, there's reports out there that the Lakers believe, or at least the reports are LeBron James is actually going to opt into that deal. So the guys who are expiring, though, it's going to be Hachimura, who's making about $18 million. You also got Gabe Vincent at around 11.5, and then Maxi Kleber as well at $11 million. So those are the expiring deals for a fact. I mean, unless he's counting guys like Jackson Hayes and stuff, but they're already freed, and so I'm not counting them as expiring deals. So that puts you at about, 22-ish. That puts you at almost $41 million. I mean, that's not necessarily what he means. Now, if you're including Dorian Finney-Smith, if he opts into that contract, perhaps that's what he means in the $60 million. But if not, that number of $60 million is pretty off. So the Lakers are going to have about $41 million in expiring deals. But, outside of a guy like Maxi Kleber, Gabe Vincent and Hachimura do have some value on this team. So the question is, who do the Lakers want to give up of those assets? Because, those are two rotation guys. And Hachimura was a starter all season long for the Lakers. So it is, easier said than done to make these hypothetical trades. But, of course, you're not just going to trade a guy just to trade a guy. You're going to want to make a move that's going to elevate your roster, especially when you're giving away rotational players like Hachimura and Gabe Vincent. But at the same time, though, if you can get that player that's going to put you over the top, of course the Lakers are going to make that move. But let's look at point two that he made here, Bobby Marks, saying about showing their hand at the deadline when it comes to making a move for Mark Williams. That trade, of course, fell through due to the failed physical on the Lakers' end. So getting a center is going to be a priority. Yes, we know this, but first round pick is going to be what it takes to potentially do it, right? As that was a deal primarily centered around Dalton, Knecht, and a first-round pick. But unfortunately, guys, for the Lakers, that first-round pick is really all they're going to have to show for this year. So these are the current upcoming picks that the Lakers have. With that being said, though, you cannot trade back-to-back picks. So they cannot trade their odd number picks here, as they already traded away 27 and 29 in prior trades. So they cannot trade picks, first-round picks in 2026, 28, or 30. I believe unless it is on draft day, you actually can do that. But you cannot do it prior to that. So the Lakers, unless there's some wink-wink going on and maybe they draft somebody that another team wants, but that's not going to happen now, guys. That would happen in later off seasons from now. So the only pick that they actually have here that they can trade, hypothetically, they could trade that 2025 second-round pick. Not sure how much weight it's going to have, but that 2031 pick, that is the first-round pick that Bobby Marks is talking about. So it's that pick that the Lakers own outright and Dalton Knecht. Those are really the only trade assets, if you want to call them future assets, because Dalton Knecht's only entering his second year, that the Lakers can move this offseason. So, and we already saw those were the two attractive pieces to land somebody like a Mark Williams. If they want to get a caliber center like that or a really good one, that's probably where the trade talks are most likely going to start, as well as some expiring contracts as well. And then again, we're going to go to Bobby Marks' final point here, which is the August 2nd deadline for a Luka Doncic extension. And yes, that is going to be very important in how the Lakers want to operate moving forward. Now, I think the question is more how many years and is Luka going to get on an extension, and I think Luka has all the leverage here, right? His agent's going to be like, hey, we want to sign for this much, and the Lakers are going to be like, okay. And they've shown to be pretty reasonable with their superstars like Anthony Davis and LeBron James. There's never been, any stalling of contract negotiations there. So I expect Luka to sign an extension there. I guess how much? I think it was that 3-year window, and then he can really sign for a mega extension after that, if I'm not mistaken. Probably should have had those numbers up. That's my bad. But the point is, how much Luka signs for is ultimately going to determine, of course, the Lakers, future moving forward, like Bobby Marks said, in that how do they build this roster post LeBron James? He's not going to play forever, although it seems like he is. He's not. He's going to be entering year 23 here. And, of course, Luka Doncic being only 26 years old, they're going to have to learn how to build around him for the years to come. But again, guys, that is the report from Bobby Marks here that the Los Angeles Lakers plan to be aggressive this offseason, especially with LeBron, of course, potentially playing in one of, if not his last season with the Los Angeles Lakers. We're going to talk about guys, too, more in depth. We already have gone in depth. Be sure to go back and watch other videos if you haven't on who these players are going to be for the Lakers, right? The different centers they can target, guys they can target, in trades and free agencies, and what it would take to ultimately get those guys. We are going to go further into depth throughout this offseason as well, as we are, I believe now, around a month or so away from the start of the offseason and 20-some days from the NBA draft. So the fact that we're getting closer and closer, guys, you're definitely going to tap in here and click that subscribe button. It's 70% of you guys watching the content. If you watch all the way through this video and you are not subscribed, I mean, come on. Really? I ain't got to tell you twice. Just click that subscribe button, guys, to keep up with everything starting with Los Angeles Lakers here on Lakers Digest.